Well, hello everyone and welcome to Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and here today we are going to go over Module 2 of the Diamond Painting 101 curriculum, and that's where we're going to take a look at the basic tools and materials that come with a diamond painting. So basically we're going to look at what's inside the box, what's inside the bag, however it comes. We're going to look at that stuff and talk about how to use it. We will not be talking about, we won't be talking about specific upgrades. I may say this is something you may want to upgrade, what have you, but we're just going to talk about getting a diamond painting out of the box and how to sit down and start diamond painting. Because I'm going to assume that after our last module, talking about the general concept, the history and whatnot, the benefits of it, everybody wants to try diamond painting, if you haven't already. So, for the sake of time right now, because it's going to be a separate module, even though it may sound odd to have it separate, we are not going to talk about specifically about where to buy diamond paintings. I'm just going to say, let's all assume that we went on to Amazon, we searched for diamond paintings, and we bought a diamond painting. And now we are ready to start it. Okay? So, a couple things to know. First of all is how your diamond painting is going to come. Now here is a small diamond painting that actually just came sort of folded up, not creased necessarily, but folded up in the bag. This was from Amazon. It came in one of their paper envelopes, padded envelopes, but sometimes you get diamond paintings like this from companies as well. I mean, these are from companies, it's just they're selling through Amazon. And sometimes you'll get diamond paintings that are just sealed in like a bag wrap or something like that, and it's maybe rolled up or it's flat like this. Typically, people don't want their diamond painting shipped like this because you may crease it, and not every canvas is made the same quality, so that crease may be very difficult to get out. Another way you may get your diamond painting is in a roll. This is probably one of the best ways to get a diamond painting. This is nice and hard, so nothing is going to crush your diamond painting. This is rolled up inside of here. Unfortunately, this is also the most expensive way for diamond painting shops to ship diamond paintings. So you don't get rolls all the time. Quick tip, when you do get one, when you do get a tube, hold on to it, because I actually used this tube to transport a diamond painting to a retreat. But I've also used it to send diamond paintings to people that I've completed and I didn't want to, get crushed with the drills being on it and stuff like that. And plus they're also just great for storage. So you hold on to these tubes if you get them. Most often what you're going to see is you're going to get a box. Okay, just a plain old box. It's going to be, usually it's branded for the company. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it has instructions. A lot of times you're going to see everything in Chinese, but there should be English translation. Just because if you remember from last time, all of these are made in China. Okay, so just some of the different ways that you may get a diamond painting. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to open up. Now, I'm not using any specific shop. I am also not using any of the premium brands. I'll show you a toolkit from a previous premium brand, but I don't want to focus on that because we're just learning how to diamond paint and we're learning to see if it's something for us. So don't go out and spend $100 on a diamond painting. Get something that's a little bit more reasonable and within your budget. Okay, so here is the diamond painting. So as I said, these come rolled up And typically inside of the roll, you're going to have your drills and a toolkit. Now, I said earlier that a lot of times these canvases are not made equally. Some are better quality than others. Obviously, the more you pay for a diamond painting, the better the quality of the canvas should be. But the first thing about this canvas that I want to point out is this is what is referred to as a double-sided adhesive canvas. What the heck does that mean? We'll see this white covering here. If we peel this back, we're going to see the pattern, okay, the image that we have with our grids and our symbols, but we're also exposing the glue field. Double-sided adhesive basically is, think of double-sided tape. It's a big roll of double-sided tape that's applied and goes down the length of the painting, okay? And this white opaque covering is typically what you're going to see on double-sided adhesive. And the Sunnor group, they seem to have the market on double-sided adhesive because 9 times out of 10 I'm seeing this this graphic. So what does it mean? Well, let's take a look at what other type of canvas you can have. And for that, I'm just going to open up this one. Where is the flap here? I'm going to open up this one because you can see already that there's a difference with this one in that you can see the image. Okay, well, clearly the glue is not exposed because that would not be helpful, but this is typically what's referred to as poured glue. And how that works is, honestly, just how it sounds, you pour a little glue on it and then you spread it out, okay? And you maybe do 2, maybe 3 or 4 layers of the glue and you let it dry, and it becomes tacky, okay? You know that it's double-sided or poured glue because it has the clear plastic on top of it. You may also see sometimes, like, depending on where you get them, if you get them from like small shops, you may actually see parchment paper like you use in the kitchen, because that will not stick to the glue permanently either. Never use wax paper. Wax paper will stick. So what's really the difference between the two? I mean, at the end of the day, your drills are going to stick to the canvas. The benefit of poured glue is that you can be a little bit more rough with the canvas. So like, for example, this is creased. I'm going to fold it the other way. All right. If it was curved like this one, I'm going to roll it backwards to sort of get the waves out of it, okay? And typically that's going to, those are, you know, different ways to get your canvas nice and flat. However, depending on the type of canvas, let me see. See, this canvas here is like, it's a, how do I want to say, it's not a fuzzy back, it's like polyester, as the same as this one, okay? It's, so what this is telling me is these canvases may not be self-leveling canvases. And what's meant by self-leveling canvases is technically, if you take a self-leveling canvas, you set it down on your desk, unrolled, within 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's going to flatten itself out. And that is obviously preferable. But I don't think either one of these are the self-leveling leveling canvases, simply because of this backing, plus the price point that was paid for these. This is probably very basic materials, which is fine. absolutely fine. I'm just saying that, you know, it's not going to stand up and do a dance for you because it's only the busboy here, okay, at the Tropicana with Lucy and Ricky. Okay. Poured glue. What's the problem with poured glue? Well, you have to be a little bit more gentle with it. It is typically not recommended to roll it backwards. So like I would normally like roll this way because it was rolled under in the box. I'd roll it this way to get the waves out. That is not really recommended because the glue can start to separate from the canvas. And when it does that, it forms what are referred to as rivers or bubbles, okay? And what that is basically you can sort of see in the cover here how the cover has come up and now there's a crease in it. That's not necessarily saying anything is wrong with the canvas beneath it, but it's a perfect example of what a river or bubble could be. So let me just peel this back. See, the glue underneath of it is just fine. But when you're working on it, if you have air trapped in somewhere in the image and you have a river of like glue coming up and stuff like that, typically what you want to do is you want to get that air out of behind the glue. So what you can use is just a X-Acto knife and just nick the glue, and then sort of, I usually will put paper like this back on it and just rub it and get the air out, or get that adhesive stuck back to the canvas, okay? But other than that, I mean, sometimes it really depends on what type of glue is being used. You know, a lot of times people will say that one is more forgiving than the other, meaning if you misplace a drill, you're just miss off of the spot a little bit, you can move it a little bit easier on this poured glue versus the double-sided adhesive. Really, it depends on what type of glue that they've used, okay? Sometimes poured glue will come to you and it's not cured. What that means is that the poured glue needs to cure on the painting, dry well, and cure to become extra sticky. If you have a canvas that you're trying to put down drills and they're slipping very easily, leave it out uncovered, maybe overnight or for a couple hours, and give that glue more time to cure, and hopefully that it will become a little bit more sticky for you. Now, is there any difference between the two as far as price point or as far as quality? Well, this one's a little bit more difficult to work with, like I talked about. This one is a little bit easier to work with. But I will tell you that a number of companies will still use double-sided adhesive because it is more economical based on what type of painting you purchase. Now, a smaller painting like this, I will admit, it's been a while since I've seen a smaller painting like this that has double-sided adhesive. But if you are doing large diamond paintings, it is much more cost-effective to use double-sided adhesive than it is to use the poured glue. So I have diamond paintings that are over $100, cost over $100, and they have double-sided adhesive. Does that excite me? No, because now I know I need to be a little bit more ginger with the canvas, but it still works. You know, it's still glue. It's still, the diamonds are still sticking to it. So this is really like it's the older version. This is what all diamond paintings used to come as. They've now moved to this. So, you know, it's not necessarily, it is a sign of quality, but it's not a sign of quality, okay? It's a sign of cost effectiveness. How's that, okay? Whereas something small like this, they can do the poured glue and get it done really quick. Plus with this one, this is what's called a partial. So I think that we talked about this last time. This one is a full diamond painting, meaning that the entire image has glue on it, and the entire image has the grid on it with symbols and whatnot for us to lay the drills. This one, if you see here, the border, this blue border, no drills are going to go here. So guess what? That's not sticky. But where the candy cane sucker here is, that's sticky. Where the snowflakes are, that's sticky. But this background here, no glue. So obviously you can't use a double-sided adhesive because that goes on all as one piece. So things like this are going to be poured glue just because it's not a full diamond painting canvas. Okay, so what else comes in our box, tube, bag, whatever the case may be? So typically you're going to have a packet of drills and you're going to have a tool set. Let's start with the packet of drills. Sometimes you will have some sticker sheets that come separate from the drills. And what those typically have on them, let me pull this out. Not super familiar with this company, so I don't know what's like normal for them, but this seems pretty standard. So here are your drills, but you also get sort of an inventory sheet, and that's what this one is. It's going to tell us what the symbol is. It's going to show us the DMC number, and then this is telling us either the bag number probably, and then the total number of drills. So in this instance, we have 20 bags of 310, and that leaves that brings us 3,846 drills. Okay. Then it has a little bit of instructions similar to what they had on the box. Some of your more expensive brands are going to have a sheet like this, but this may be, it's a sticker sheet, and these would be cut, or maybe you have to cut them yourself, and then you're going to go ahead and place them on your containers if you use the containers, or if you choose to use, if it comes in baggies, you can put those stickers on there to identify your drills. The drills itself, they're going to come in two different formats. They're either going to come in, let's do this little sort of, I refer to these as cellophane bags. So like these are two small cellophane bags, and they have the number of the drill, the DMC number printed on them. But these are usually chained together in some fashion, whether it's by color or just chained together all through it. Typically when you have these type of bags, you can't reseal them easily. So you're going to want to use some type of tray or some type of storage container to put your drills in. So for example, like here's a round container. This is from the company ArcDot. You would put your drills in here, and then you would take the sticker and put it on here, and then you know what drill this is. Now, if you get something like this that is not stickers, are you out of luck? Absolutely not. You could do a couple things. Number one, some people will draw the symbols on a sticker and put it on their container. Okay, some people will take a picture of this or copy it and then print it out on sticker paper. Or like what I do is I would copy this and then I cut out just what I need, which is typically I like to have the DMC and the symbol. I'll cut this out and then I'll run it through a sticker machine, very inexpensive on Amazon. It's called a Zion sticker machine. It looks like an X, and you literally put the strip of paper in and then you pull the tape out. And what it's doing is it's adhering it to a sticker back, but then covering it with a little bit of plastic. You rub that to make sure that it adheres to that sticker back, and you have automatic stickers. Okay. So that is your The other thing I should say is your drills are either going to be round or square. You may have some special shapes, things like that, but we'll get more into the real difference between squares and rounds a little bit later. Right now, I will tell you, if this is your first diamond painting, a lot of people say that rounds are easier. I don't necessarily agree with that. So you do you. Maybe get a small round and a small square and try each of them to see if you like one over the other, okay? Because really it comes down to your preference. Now, here's a standard toolkit, and we have a couple things in here that we're going to need to diamond paint. Now again, diamond painting is made so you can do it right out of the box. So if this is your first diamond painting, you've never done anything like this before, you just want to try it out, you can diamond paint with what's in this tool kit. Now normally these baggies are in the toolkit. I don't know if they always put them in this paper or if they sort of forgot them and they stuck them in. But what these are used for is if you want to take these drills and transfer them here, put your sticker on it, you can at least close it so you're not spilling drills all over. Or you can use them for leftover drills if you want to save any of these drills. Sometimes people save their drills because in case they run out of the color, the same color for another painting, they have some extras, okay? Now there are pros and cons to that. We'll talk more about that later, but that's what these baggies are for. Then you have your applicator. Your applicator typically comes, it's normally this pink pen, but it can be really any color. So what it is just sort of like this pink straw, and then it's going to have a single placer end and a multi-placer end, all right? This looks like probably a 9 or 10 placer, meaning you can place up to 9 or 10 drills at the same time. Or you have this end, which you're going to place drills one at a time. This is referred to as your tray or your boat, okay? This is the most basic of the basic. It has these little raised lines in the bottom so that when you pour drills into it, you shake it a little bit and they start lining up. And that's going to allow you to pick up multiple at once or one at a time. It's going to be face up, lined up, easy for you to pick up, okay? Then they include typically some type of tweezers. Why do we have tweezers? Well, because some people actually will diamond paint just with tweezers. Typically they only come in square kits, because the thought is that you can pick something up that has flat ends here, whereas if it's a round drill, it's a little bit slippery, you can't really pick it up. But some people will take and do one drill at a time and put it down, one drill at a time, put it down. This is highly accurate, okay? You're going to have perfect placement, or near perfect placement, but of course it's going to take you a little bit longer. The pen is typically a little bit quicker. Plus, this is helpful to pick stickers off of containers, if you spill drills, to pick them up, or sometimes you just want to get in there and move your drills around a little bit, and the tweezers are helpful for that. Then finally we have the infamous pink wax. When you use your applicator, you need to have something in your single placer, your multi-placer that's a little sticky that will pick up the drills. And the standard is this pink wax. Now there are many different colors of wax. You may see another color, and that's fine. It's all the same stuff. It's all used for the same thing. It may be in the shape of a heart. It may be in a little container, like a little round pats. But this one, they happen to give us a rectangle here. There really is no difference between the different colors of wax, although some people think there is. And quite honestly, you know, when I used wax, I always tended to use the blue just because it seemed to last a little bit longer, but that was probably purely in my head because it's just wax with color. Now, important thing to realize about all of these wax is that they have some type of plastic cover. So like this one, on both sides, there's this plastic cover that you need to pull back. If you go to pick up wax this way, you're not going to go into it. And you're going to be like, well, what the heck is going on? You got to peel back the plastic. And then what you do is you push your applicator in it. Okay, the single placer is really easy. See how I have the one hole? Okay, that filled my tip of my single placer with wax. If I want to make sure that I have enough wax, I can come in and just, I like to do sometimes just like another half circle or so to make sure that I have enough wax in my pen. When filling either your single placer or multi-placer, you need to be careful of how much stuff, whether it's this pink wax or some other medium, you want to be careful how much you put in there, because as you are picking up drills and placing the drills, the drills go in here a little bit because they're sort of rounded at the top. They will push in on this stuff and it comes out. And the last thing you want to do, but it will happen, the last thing you want to do is get wax or some other medium on your glue field, because that could interrupt the adhesion of the drills to the canvas. So to do our multi-placer, I'm just going to go ahead and pull back our plastic cover again. And I'm just going to come in and just sort of think of it like a cookie cutter and you're making Christmas cookies. Okay, so there's the shape, and now here is my filled multi-placer. And I can tell just from looking at the side that I've filled up the entire multi-placer, so I shouldn't need to go back and get more. Meaning I shouldn't need to have to do like another half or something like that. This is pretty full. So with this, if we got our drills out, put them in our bags or our containers or our trays, whatever we wanted to do, we're ready to diamond paint. Okay, let me show you one other kit here, because sometimes you will see this extra piece. So here we have a kit from another company, and it really depends on the company that you're getting it from. But as you can see, we have our applicator, we have our boat, we have our pink wax, we have baggies. The applicator on this one does only have like a 3-placer, because this is for this smaller painting. We're not doing big, stripes of color, whereas here we may be doing a lot of color blocking, and this larger multi-placer will come in handy. But sometimes you will get these squishies, okay? And this just goes on your pen, on your applicator, just to make it a little bit easier and comfortable, I should say, for you to hold. Okay, and that's all that is for. If you don't get one of these, you can purchase these very inexpensively on Amazon or office supply store, or you could just apply tape to your pen, anything to bulk it up a little bit, and it will be a little bit more comfortable to use. Okay, so that is your basic cool, what is this? Toolkit. Sometimes you will see one other thing, and that will be washi tape. Now let me grab a roll of washi tape here. So washi tape, if you're not familiar with it, a lot of people have used it in journaling and stamping and stuff like that. This is basically decorated masking tape, okay? It is not meant to be super duper sticky. Because it should be able to come off things if you won't need to reposition it or you want to remove it and whatnot. So this isn't like a long-term, it's not duct tape. You're not fixing the plumbing. You're not fixing an electrical cord with it. It's a low-tack decorated diamond paint or tape. For diamond painting, this is used in a couple ways, and when we go to actually start working on a canvas, we'll talk about sectioning and putting this around the border to help keep your canvas clean. Okay, but sometimes you'll see this as well. Now, here is a toolkit from Diamond Art Club, and I just want to show you the similarities and the differences between real budget-friendly diamond paintings and more expensive. I'm just going to say expensive. Diamond Art Club is known for really great quality, but their stuff is expensive. So if if you're just starting out, you don't want to start buying out Diamond Art Club, pieces, because they're expensive. They do have smaller ones. They do have a shop on Amazon. Search Amazon for Diamond Art Club and you will find their store. Those are typically more beginner friendly, both in size, in image, as well as price. So check out Diamond Art Club on Amazon. But you're going to see that you get pretty much the same stuff even in your more expensive diamond painting. So here's our baggies. The baggies are in a baggie. Then we have, this is the applicator. Diamond Art Club has recently started using these twist applicators that basically it has our single placer here, but then this end of the single placer, this is hollow. And if we twist it, what it's doing is it's compressing wax or putty that's already in here. So it's going to go ahead, and as we continue to turn it here, it's going to come out there. A whole bunch of wax just came out. This is the white wax that they're using now. They have some of these that have putty in them, but essentially you're just moving the wax out of the reservoir. When you do use these, what I do recommend is once you get the wax or the putty out there, turn it backwards, just a quarter of a turn, so that you're not constantly having wax or putty come out of the pen. Okay. So that's different, fancy applicator, a little bit thicker, a little bit easier to hold. That's great. Here is their version of a tray or a boat. This is a huge upgrade that Diamond Art Club recently did, and a lot of people they love these trays and they collect them. But first thing you have is a lid. The lid is very helpful for if you, let's say you're doing a painting and you want to stop for the night and you're not quite done with this color. You could just put the lid on it and you don't need to worry about cats or kids knocking over your drills or whatnot. Some people will actually kit up into a bunch of these instead of using a container like this or baggies. They'll put all their colors into different trays, label the trays, and stack them up and diamond paint that way. There's also a funnel so that you can pour out any extra drills that you might have. There's a stopper for that so that as you're diamond painting, you can stop the drills from spilling out. When we look in this tray that Diamond Art Club offers, here is, they gave us probably what's like a four or five placer. Here's a larger, let's see if sometimes they print, this is a 7 placer, and this is a 4. They have, it's in the same color as the plastic and everything, but they'll have little numbers on the side. So they give us a 7 placer to complement our 4 placer. Here's the pink wax. Because so many people like this pink wax, they started putting a little pat in it, of it in these kits again. And then here is their wax. This is already pre-filled into this pen. This wax is in this pen. What do you use this for? Well, if you want to use this instead of the pink wax, you're going to fill your multi-placer. If you run out of wax, these are refillable. There are a number of videos out on YouTube on how to refill these pens, okay? I'm going to refer you to those on how to refill these. But basically, this is a more premium set from a more premium diamond painting company. And, that this is a good thing or it's a bad thing. It's still stuff. It's nice stuff. A lot of people, like I said, use these. Just keep in mind, this pen is disposable. This pen is not meant to last forever. So a lot of times when people run out of the wax, it's like they toss it because they're almost done with their painting or they are done with their painting, and you can move on to the next one. If you choose to upgrade any of this, and everything that we're looking at here basically can be upgraded, you're going to just accumulate hundreds of those, hundreds of the green boats, hundreds of pats of wax, millions of baggies, trays, you know, hundreds of pens, what have you. What do you do with all of that stuff? Well, throw it in a box, gather it up, and then typically go to any D-Stash group on Facebook and just ask, does anyone want, you know, my box of 1,000,000 pink pens, or my dozen trays that I've collected, or the dozen diamond art pens that I've collected? And many of people will take them. They do various things with them. I've seen people use these boats. They bring them to a school and they use it for paint, like a paint tray, and then they can dispose of it. Some people will take these pens and use them as a core and build up clay around it to come up with a clay-based pen. You heat it up, you bake it, whatnot, and then you have a pen that's small, just like the pink one, but it's a little bit thicker, and it's more decorative. Okay. And then of course, some people really love the pink wax, and quite honestly, the pink wax is, how do I want to say it? It's an original inclusion. So a lot of companies maybe don't include it anymore. They've gone to either like a clear wax or a putty. So a lot of people will collect these so that they have some in their stash to use. Okay. Let's see. The only other difference here that I want to talk about was with this diamond painting. This diamond painting has these crystal drills with it that are all varying sizes. This is what I believe is referred to as a bubble round, because it's like you're placing little bubbles all over the canvas. And you can see here, see how large the center of this is? That's a big drill, and then you're gonna have all these smaller drills around it. Here's a medium-sized drill with your smaller. Here's a teardrop shaped drill that's going to be put on there that has all of the rounds around it. So the only difference with this is that you have a different looking drills. And if I could get this open, it would be super helpful. You can see here, like here is our, I don't know if you can see through the plastic very well. I'll hold that. This is our teardrop. Here's like one of the larger drills that are going to go on here. Here's a completely smooth round one. It's not faceted, so that's a bubble. And then you have all the smaller pieces here. Okay. And these are also rounds, where these are square. And when people talk about rounds or square, it's just that. You either get squared drills or you get round drills. And we'll talk about the differences a little bit later. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want to talk about the canvas next. So I'm going to take a second, I'm going to clear all this away, and let's focus on the canvas itself. All right, here we are. We have our drills all separated out into our container of choice, or into the baggies that came with it. How are we going to work on our canvas? Well, let's focus on this one just because it's a lot smaller and we can get this all in one frame. There's a couple things that people do to get ready to work on their diamond painting. One of the first things that a lot of people do, especially now, keep in mind this is a partial. Let's assume that this is a full drill here, so this is all glue. What a lot of people do is they'll pull up the edge of the plastic, and they're going to take their washi tape and they're going to run a strip of washi tape down the side, and then they're going to do that up here on this side and this side. What is that doing? Well, the glue will hang over or extend a little bit past the glue field on these diamond paintings. So imagine that you are placing your drills down here, but you happen to be wearing a hoodie, a long sleeve sweatshirt, a long sleeve t-shirt. You're just getting lint and dog hair and cat hair and all this other stuff on the edge. And that doesn't look very nice, okay? Whether you're going to frame it or give it or whatnot, people usually want to cover up this extension of the glue just so that it doesn't get a lot of schmuck on it. And that is a technical term, schmuck. And you would use that your washi tape to do that. If you didn't get washi tape with your diamond painting, you can use masking tape. You can use regular tape, really. You probably want to stick with the masking tape just because you can remove it when you're done in case you do want to frame it or whatnot and you need to get that off of there, okay? So if we want, we're going to go ahead and put tape around the edges. What's next? Well, we have to contend with this cover, whether it's the plastic cover or this paper cover. What you don't want to do is just rip it off and start diamond painting. Because, first of all, you may not finish this entire thing in the time that you're sitting. So you don't want your cat to jump up and stick their paw on this and then be walking around with a diamond painting on their paw, or get cat hair or dog fur or dust or whatever on your painting. Plus, you may need a place to rest your hand. So if I were starting this painting, normally I work from the top down, okay? And a lot of people be like, what do I do? Do I work from the top down, bottom up, left to right, right to left? What's the best way? It's up to you. Try every single way and figure out which one works best for you. But I find that starting in the upper right, it works for me. Well, I don't want to be putting my hand in glue, so I want to leave some of this on here. So I may just peel this back and do section by section. You can cut this so you can remove a rectangle of it. You can use scissors to remove it, or my favorite, some people use scissors. A lot of people will use an X-Acto knife or one of these ceramic blades. I caution you with these two, even the ceramic blade, that if you push too hard, you're going to cut through your canvas. To avoid the whole thing, I have a seam ripper. And this happens to be a nice one that I bought from a small shop. Here's one that was like 99 cents at a fabric store or a craft store, okay? And how you use this is red ball down. You're gonna go ahead and you just slide it across, and you're cutting the plastic, or you can cut the paper. And it's just a really nice way of being sure that you're not going to cut or nick your canvas. You also want to be careful. Now, I don't know about this paper. This paper may be the exception, but this plastic, there is a right side and a wrong side to put on the glue. So if I were to take this off completely and start putting my drills down, and all of a sudden get a phone call and, hey, Rich, you want to go out to dinner or something? Sure. And I put this with the wrong side down, I'm not getting it off the glue. It is stuck to the glue. Okay, so you want to be very careful with these that you're not putting it down wrong side down. And how do you know wrong side down? You don't. It's clear plastic. At least here, while it feels slippery on both sides, I know that the blue logo goes up. Okay, so you want to be very careful with that. And sometimes what has happened to me is I'll be working on a section, and like the plastic will curl and then the wrong side goes down. You will find out how hard it is to get it off of there. If that happens, get it off there right away, gingerly remove it. But you will see that it sticks. It sticks quite well just with the littlest amount of pressure. So, like I said, I work from the top right. I may leave some of this on here to keep my hand from sticking. Some people will use the washi tape and section their painting. What I mean by sectioning their painting is they're going to take their washi tape and they're going to go, and of course this is not going to be straight or anything, but they're going to go ahead and maybe do that. And then you know, maybe another one here. You can measure this to get exact sizes. Typically what I do is I try and line it up with the grid, but this one there's not a grid, so I can put it wherever I want and do this. And now I have, if I were to go through with the rest of the washi tape, I have little sections where I can remove the plastic, I can work on it, great. Move on to the next section, work on it, etc. What is nice about sectioning is, first of all, well, a couple things. What's nice about sectioning? Do you want a section? Probably. Here's why. First of all, you have something on here that's going to keep your hand from sticking. But for larger pieces, you may become very overwhelmed by an 80 by 100 centimeter picture. Sectioning it allows you to focus just on the smallest section that you've created, okay? And it just gives it to you in bite-sized chunks, all right? But also, it's just nice because I know there's a certain size of section that I can complete in one evening after work. And that typically is, I like these papers that are 4x4. So you would remove your plastic cover. This is what's called a release paper. This is essentially sort of the same type of paper this is. And they come in all fun patterns. This is a joke one that someone made up. That's me getting scared by a dragon. I'm going to go ahead. I take the plastic up. I put this down on the glue. I can now peel this up. I can put it back down if I stop in the middle of this section. But this 4x4 section, I can usually get this done every evening, every evening after work. On the weekends, I know that I can get maybe 3 or 4 of them done. And what's nice about that is if you're planning on giving your painting to someone, you're doing it for an event, some type of timeline that you want to complete it on, you know, okay, here's 1, here's 2, all right, here's a half. So that's going to take me 2.5 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5.5. Now we're at what, 5 days, okay? You know, 6, 7, 8. If this was a full diamond painting, this would maybe take me 7.5 days to complete. So I know that I'm going to have it finished 7.5 days from now, or I should have it finished pending, you know, life crises that come up or whatnot, and how much time I can spend diamond painting. But I know that I can get this done in 7.5 days, and oh look, it's my friend's birthday in 8. I complete this just in time, I can give it to them. All right, so that's just some reasons why you may want to section, but do you have to? Absolutely not. Release papers, you know, you may be like, well, this is obviously inferior because this already has release papers. Yes and no. This is better glue. They use the plastic covering because you can see through it, which is helpful to some folks. These are purely optional. We'll cover this more when we talk about things that you can purchase outside of your diamond painting kit. But for right now, work with the white paper that's on here or your plastic cover, especially for your first couple, until you even know if you like diamond painting. Let me see. So looking at your canvas, and I'm going to move to this one just because it's a larger legend. There's a border around your canvas, okay? And up at the top, it typically has the name of the company. Here it has sort of a part number. And on this, one of the sides or both of the sides, they're going to have this legend. And what this legend is remember when we opened up the drills for this one and we had our inventory list here? This is our symbol and the DMC number. So here, if I peel this back, and I want to start in the very corner here, and I know you can't see this, but that is the symbol A in the very, very corner. I can come down here and say A is 905. Or a lot of times they'll have these numbered like in order. So I can be like, oh, that's the 13th color. And I go to my 13th container and I can go ahead and use the drills. We'll talk about different ways to kit up in another video, but you're going to have a legend somewhere, and that's going to help you locate what drills to put where. Then this one doesn't necessarily have anything down at the bottom, but here we can see this one does. So let's look at this one just for something different. So this one we have, usually there's going to be, here's the image, a small little image. Here's the image up here. Here's the same thing that this basically has, the item number. I don't see a company, but they have the size and whatnot. Down here they have instruction. And then words to relay that instruction. Here they have a legend on both sides. You're going to see that a lot, okay? And a lot of times they will have, if it's a bigger company, they will have the canvas branded with their social media addresses, things like that. There may be information down here about what to do if you run out of drills. Or you spill your drills. They talk a little bit about the warranty or the oops insurance or whatever they call it on how to get some extra drills. But that's how you're going to read the canvas, is you're going to sit there and now see these branches here. This is all ones. So I know one is in container, it's container 1, and it's diamond number 1. All right. So there's no, whatchamacallit, or is that one, what I'm trying to say is these, I'm just going to put like the numbers on it, much like here's another painting that I'm doing that's just like this one. They used letters. So I have A, I have B, I have C. So I just write these on removable adhesive labels because I like to keep my containers clean. So I just put down the numbers and I know which drills to grab very quickly. Okay. Now, is there other stuff that is helpful to diamond paint? Yes, there absolutely is. Are there things that you can upgrade from your toolkits to make diamond painting a little bit easier? Yes, there is. It all depends on what type of need you have. Some people are perfectly happy with what comes in the box and they're able to do it. They don't have any hand pain. They don't have the need to, do washi tape if it doesn't come with washi tape. So diamond painting truly, truly, truly is something that you can do just with what comes in the box. Okay, some companies will ask you if you do want a tool kit just because they don't want to send it out if you don't need it. So just pay attention to that. There'll usually be a checkbox. But, if you don't get the plastic stuff, you don't have to get rid of the plastic stuff, right? So just keep that in mind. So that's what you find in a diamond painting box, in a diamond painting bag, a diamond painting tube. We can sit down and start our diamond painting right now. In our next module, I will go over some additional tools that you may find helpful, as well as upgrades for things that come in your toolbox that may address some difficulties or struggles you're having with diamond painting, or you just want something that looks a little bit nicer, okay? Or something, most of the time it's, gee, this thing is not working for me. Is there something else I can use? And the answer is yes, there probably is. So I hope this has helped you know what you're going to be getting inside of a diamond painting, and you are now confident that you can sit down and start diamond painting right off the bat. So I hope this has helped you. I will talk to you next time with Module 3, where I said we'll go through some of the upgrades and the additional things that you can use when diamond painting. And we will also then talk a little bit about how to placement of drills on the canvas. And when I say that, I mean single placing versus multi-placing versus what's known in cross stitch as frogging, removing drills because you put down the wrong color, moving drills, all the good stuff. We'll talk about the basics of getting drills onto your canvas, and you know, in doing that, you may see the need for some of the more upgraded pieces of equipment or the more premium pieces of equipment. So thank you very much. I hope you found this helpful. Put any questions down in the comments and I will try and answer them either in the comments or in the next video. But I will see you next time when we are speaking of diamonds. Have a good one.